Hello again, everyone. My name is James Shotwell. This is Music Biz, and today we're going to discuss the one problem virtually every artist is making right now with their marketing efforts. So let's say that we have a new single to promote. Most likely, you're going to choose one of two different methods. The first being using a service that allows you to link to all the different streaming services through a single URL. Now this is a URL like Linktree where you put it into your bio or into every post that you share, and then people choose their desired streaming service after clicking that link. So in essence, it's a 2 to 3 step process because once they land on the streaming service, they then have to choose to play the new song. The second option, which I'm seeing far and far more often these days, is that people choose a streaming service to push all their fans to. And the most common is probably pretty obvious, Spotify. People use the Spotify link, drop it into every single one of their posts, and people go check out the song. And that eliminates one of the steps from that process, but I still think that there's a better way to do it. And it's been around much longer than the streaming industry, and that's what I want to let you in on today. Now, when we think about the method of promotion that I just told you about, where we're using a third-party service to create a bunch of links or just linking to something like Spotify, we're giving a lot of business to other people. So we're going to a social media platform such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what have you. We're putting in a link that we got from another business, and then we're pushing all of our fans to a yet another business. So they're going from Twitter to Linktree to Spotify or Apple Music or whatever it happens to be. Or maybe it's just from Instagram to our Spotify page. And while there's nothing wrong with that, it's not really direct fan engagement. They're engaging with your content on the content owned by somebody else. It's Spotify's platform, you're just on it. It's not really your space. Your fans, even if they like the song, have to take several extra steps to continue connecting with you. I mean, there are plenty of artists that I enjoy on Spotify that I don't really follow on social media because Spotify doesn't make it easy to find all their social media links. And even if they do, I have to hope that the algorithm on all those social media platforms actually shows me their content. I mean, you probably follow hundreds, if not thousands of people on certain social networks, and I guarantee you only see about 10% of those people on a regular basis, if that. So we have a problem, because the ultimate goal should be that you're creating fans that want to stay constantly engaged with what you're doing. You don't want them to just listen to the new single and then continue on with their lives. You want them to listen to the new single, sign up for something that keeps them engaged with everything that you do, and then constantly feed them new content so they continue listening to your music, hopefully tell other people to listen to your music, and your community around your music continues to grow. But these services aren't interested in that. Spotify's in the business of making sure Spotify makes more money, and they make more money by getting people to spend more time on their platform. The same goes for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all social media platforms, and all streaming services. They are in business for themselves, and it's about time that you start thinking about the business of you. And this brings me to the mistake that so many artists are making. They're in the business of everyone else. They're putting themselves last in this process. I mean, in both of the examples I shared, you're taking multiple steps, supporting multiple platforms. None of them are the artist's own content or their own platforms. And while I don't think you can completely escape the need for something like YouTube or SoundCloud or Bandcamp or any service that allows you to embed content, you can drive fans to your website, to your place online, to your hub for all things related to you and your music. So let's rethink the example that I gave at the beginning of this video. Instead of making a link on some third-party service that gives people links to all the different streaming platforms, you can create that page on your own website. If you're using Squarespace or Wix or WordPress or building something yourself, you can easily create a landing page where people not only have the chance to listen to the new single via an embed such as YouTube, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, AudioMac, whatever service you choose, they can also find links to all the streaming platforms so that they can follow you on there. They can also buy merchandise, and most importantly, they have the opportunity to sign up for your mailing list. And now this is what we want to do. We want to drive people to our website so that they get engulfed in our branding and our aesthetic and everything that we're doing with our music. And then we want to nudge them to sign up for our mailing list. And there are many ways you can do this. You can be pretty intrusive with it, making a pop-up that asks people to give you their email address. You can just make an inline thing on the page asking for email addresses, or just have a button for a mailing list. Any of these would be great, but you need to get people on your mailing list, because once you do, you have a direct line to your audience. And there's no more third parties, or at least not as many third-party people involved in the conversation around your music. It's just you talking to people that like your music. And whenever you need to get their attention, you need to share something with them. You need to make them aware of an upcoming tour date or an upcoming song release. You have a direct line to their inbox. You can talk to them directly and they can talk back to you. You don't have to worry if they're on Spotify or Instagram or Twitter at the exact exact right moment. You don't have to post the same thing dozens of times. You can craft one message, be very engaging, and allow them to engage back with you, all without worrying about algorithms and all that other nonsense. And this is a word that you've heard me say before on this channel, and that is that you're going to slowly begin to create a funnel. Once you get people to your website, they're at the top of this funnel. Anybody that sees your posts and clicks on them, they're at the top of this funnel. This is all the people who could potentially become a lifelong fan of your music. Somebody that may be converted to spending money on your music, who will tell other people about your music, who will be an actual rabid fan for your music. And once you get them on that webpage and they sign up for that mailing list, they move down a little bit further in that funnel. Now you're getting a little bit more selective with your core audience, but that's a good thing because these are people who have said, hey, I want to know more about what's happening with you. Please tell me, and please make sure that I don't miss it by sending me a message, by sending me something very direct. And as you start to do that, you start to message these people, you start to see how they engage with your content further, the funnel's gonna get a little bit smaller. Those people are gonna be converted into paying fans, people who are actually giving of their time and money to see you succeed. And that's what you're ultimately looking for. Because we're on social media all the time, but most of the people we interact with are not going to be converted to people who spend money on our music. They might listen to the new single, they might watch the new video, they might retweet it, they might repost it, they might share us in their stories. But when it comes time to say, hey, buy tickets to this, buy merchandise, buy the record, or just donate money so that we can fix our van, those people are a lot less likely to engage with that kind of request than the people who have signed up for your mailing list. And so you want to make sure that you can reach the people who actually want to help you get ahead, the people who are taking a stake in what it is that you're doing. So in the future, instead of using all these other services that can seemingly simplify the process, think about the business of yourself. Think about how you can drive your fans to a website that you control with links and page designs that you set up and make the exact way that you want them to be to best reflect your brand, your aesthetic, your sound, your career. And once you get them there, make sure that you encourage them to stay engaged with you by signing up for a mailing list. That way you can reach out to your fans at any time, they can reach out to you, and you can start to build a relationship that goes beyond the internet. Because at the end of the day, that's what you need to do. That's how you build a lasting career. You take it off the internet and into the real world where they feel like they're engaged with what you're doing. They feel like your success is a reflection of their own and vice versa. That's the key to getting ahead. Now, if you want even more music marketing advice, insight onto the industry, learning about the latest trends in the business of music, please click the subscribe button down below because that's what we do here at Music Biz. I'm bringing you videos every single week about what's happening in this industry, where it's going, and what we can learn from the people who are already succeeding. So if you haven't done so already, please click that button. And if you have, then I thank you so much for watching. Your support means everything. And please, no matter what you do in this life, take care of yourself because you deserve it.